thank you for taking the time to be here. I know you have a very busy schedule, but I really appreciate you talking to me.
It's my pleasure. Yeah, I love to come.
Yes, I would. Welcome to the very first episode of RP Radiate909, especially for Open House 2022. Are you excited about that?
Oh yes, I look forward to open house every year.
I mean, now it's not really virtual, right, anymore. It's like a hybrid, so people can come down. I think it's great to get people in the school and everything, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great improvement to have a hybrid format compared to the previous time that we did it.
Yeah.
It was fully online. Yeah, so I look forward to having more people coming to visit RP.
I mean, I think the atmosphere is definitely different because virtual, I think it doesn't really engage a lot of people, but now they can see the things for themselves. I think they can even talk to our lecturers, which is great, you know, talking in real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so let me just ask you some questions that I think some of our students and friends here at RP would love to hear, right? Okay, so as Deputy Principal, could you tell us more about your role here in RP?
My role, well, as a Deputy Principal, I assist the Principal in running the Polytechnic, and really it's about finding ways to keep improving the Polytechnic for the present lot of students as well as for future students, you know, for that matter. And my specific interest, right, is really to transform Republic Polytechnic into an institution that is not just for young people spending 3 years of their life doing their diploma here, but make RP to become an institution that is relevant for people of all ages throughout their life, you know. That's a big thing, because we are saying that after students graduate from Republic Polytechnic after the 3 years diploma, that even while they are working, they will find a need to upgrade their skills, their knowledge, and there's always a reason to come back to Republic Polytechnic for courses, be it a short course, 1 day, 5 days, or a longer course, you know, like 1 year, 2.5 years perhaps, all right? But RP is always relevant.
I mean, of course, like, you can always constantly learn new things every day, like nothing is like fully set. And of course, the world is constantly evolving too, so we need to keep up with like the new skills that are required and everything. But I'm actually very interested about how you got to become the Deputy Principal. Like, I understand that you were actually a teacher before at Dunman Secondary School, and then you led on to becoming a principal, and then now you're a deputy principal here at RP. So what was your learning journey like?
Well, yes, you're right. I started life as a teacher, you know, and my training was actually in physics. Yeah, so I started life as a physics and mathematics teacher. I sort of stumbled into this field of education sort of by default, because during my time when I was growing up as a JC kid, there was not so much ECG, education, career counseling, as we see today, you know. So at that point in time, I remember I was really finding it a struggle to understand what are the different careers that are possible out there, you know. And when I looked around in that life that I had, you know, the most obvious example of a career at that point in time was that of a teacher. I see them every day, and I remember telling myself that, didn't sound like a bad job, all right? So I said, okay, let's go into education then. But of course, young people today have a lot more information and knowledge, you know. Yeah, and there are people from different sectors coming to tell you about their jobs, about their career, and yeah, you know, I think you're a lot more well informed than I was at that point in time. But having said that, I never regretted my choice to come into education, really. I think education is something that's quite fascinating. You know, I work with young people. That's one of the reasons why I love it. Yeah, I mean, keep your outlook young, right?
Okay.
But I especially love coming to Republic Polytechnic because I think it also allowed me to understand what's going on in the industry. Because Polytechnic lies in the intersection between education and industry, all right? And in Republic Polytechnic, I learned about what's going on in the IT sector, what's going on in the aviation sector, you know, what's going on in the hospitality sector. I can see how we're teaching restaurants in operation and how things are done, you know, and I learned a great deal, something that I was not able to learn as much of when I was, say, in a secondary school, leading a secondary school. So yeah, I particularly enjoyed my period here in Republic Polytechnic.
I mean, I'm sure it will get better, you know, like Republic Poly is always like learning new things. I mean, I would think that you do not have to be a student to constantly learn new things. Like as a lecturer, as a supervisor, you still like learn from all the students, or like when your course is adapting to new changes. I mean, I think a lot of students, like you said, can feel a bit overwhelmed because we do have a lot of choices, and then there's a lot of, like for myself, I had a tough choice of deciding what I wanted to stay committed to for 3 years. Because I think a lot of people, like our seniors, would be like, oh, if you go to this course, you can't change, this is like what you're set on. Or like, if you go poly, there's this, if you go JC, like, what do you think like students should keep in mind when they're choosing schools?
Don't totally believe what they tell you, you know. Yeah, there are some administrative things that you totally cannot change and so on. But seriously, life do not usually follow a straight line, all right? And I've seen many people, you know, who have studied one thing and then they found other things that is of interest and they successfully branch off to that, you know. Or other people whom they thought that they were never interested in a particular area suddenly discovered their passion for it and came into this sector, all right. So I think be confident, you know. Yes, it is not a good idea for you to say change course during the 3 years, all right, because that's going to be very disruptive, all right. And if you do change course, you probably have to start from fresh because you would have missed out on a lot of modules that your classmates went through, and it's not good for your GPA if you continue to miss those modules, all right. So it's going to be disruptive. But it doesn't matter after your 3 years, all right. If it's something that after 3 years you discover that you're really good at it and you continue, you like it very much, pursue it, you know. But there are always alternative pathways, all right. You thought that you're aiming towards a certain set of career options, but there are what you call that adjacent sectors, all right, that is just beside those career options that you originally set yourself to, that will also equally need the skill sets that you learn in the particular diploma, all right. So it's okay. I think life is never a dead end, all right. There are lots and lots of options, all right. So just remember, you don't have to be so angsty about, oh, I must find the correct diploma that I will never regret ever. You know, if your mental state is so high, you will never be able to make decisions, all right? Because every decision that you seem to want to make, you know, you will ask yourself, oh, am I sure? Am I not sure? And you will not be comfortable making any decision until you're 100% sure. And nothing is 100% sure in this life, all right? So it's all right, you know, as long as the diploma sounds like something that sort of interests you, even though you're not 100% sure, go for it. You know, and there are many people who discover their passion for the diploma, you know, along the way, right? The kind of, they've realized that they were interested in it in a way that they never imagined themselves to be interested in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. There's no straight line to whatever you're going to achieve. There are like people who come from different backgrounds or like different like timelines. Some people don't come straight out from secondary school, which is fine. There's nothing wrong. That means they just took a bit longer or they went a different route, but you're still at the same place. So I think it's very important that people don't like stick to that mindset that this is the only way.
Yes. The only thing that you have to remember is that whichever pathway you pursue, always be interested and curious about learning.
Yes,
all right?
of course.
That you must always be able to keep learning and be flexible.
Keep an open mind.
Keep an open mind, be pragmatic, you know, listen to your heart also. Hard work, some of these basic values, as long as you have it, you will be all right.
Yeah, you know? I agree. So actually, RP is turning 20 years old this year.
Yes, that's right.
So could you share some of your fondest memories of us that you've had here? Some juicy ones you can tell me too. I won't tell anyone.
Well, I have spent, you know, the last 8 years in Republic Polytechnic actually. Fondest memories, there were many, but I remember that every year I was always very excited about 2 events especially. You know, the first is orientation, right? And every year without fail, for the past 8 years at least, I was always mesmerized by the kind of raw energy that I witnessed, you know, during the orientation program. Yeah, freshmen, you know, especially, you know, one of the orientation days, we typically would have a mass concert. I know it sounds like a distant memory because of COVID, it turned upside down. Yeah, but before COVID, yes, we used to have this massive concert where all freshmen attended, and wow, it was really quite something, you know. Yeah, to see so many thousands, you know, 4,000, 4,000 of freshmen together with our existing students acting as facilitators, coming together to enjoy, you know, a concert is really quite amazing. The other event that I have very fond memories of will always be a graduation ceremony, you know. And it's kind of a nice contrast, you know. On one hand, you see the freshmen, and then in a couple of months, you see another batch of students graduating, you know. And the atmosphere is very different, you know. And looking at the students going up the stage, receiving their scrolls, and then recounting their stories of how they have grown in Republic Poly, it's very heartwarming, you know. And really, it just reminds me that, yeah, you know, this Polytechnic really is a part of so many people's lives, right? You know, 3 years is not a short time, yeah, to spend. And within that 3 years, you know, students have progressed, have transformed, have grown. It's very heartwarming, you know. And it's of course a reminder that we should continue to make this Polytechnic a very special Polytechnic, all right? One that leaves a memorable mark in the lives of all the students that pass through us. Yeah.
So actually, I would just like to know, not being biased, but what do you think of RP Radiate909? If this very new, very fun interest group.
Well, I think it's really a great idea, you know, that RP, we have our own voice, right? We have a channel where we communicate the thoughts, the opinions, the dreams, the concerns of people from RP itself, all right? I don't know, but I feel that especially during this pandemic period, it is so important for us to have that, make that special effort for social connection, all right? And I think this Radiate channel will help us to feel that we are one family.
So I think that's all the time we have here today. I would like to thank you so much for taking your own time to come here. It's really great to hear your own experiences and opinions, and I think it gives like a fresh perspective to everyone and like incoming students as well. So thank you so much. I hope you have a very great day, Mr. Boo.
Thank you very much. Yes, I also enjoyed myself.
That's great.
Thank you.